Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews from coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season. United by head coach Jeff Scott.
Here we go, lock in right here.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great show ahead with inside access to the sights and sounds of USF.
Let's kick things off with the introduction of offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Travis Trickett.
My name is Travis Trickett. I'm the office coordinator at the University of South Florida.
Coming over from West Virginia, where he was the inside receivers coach, also handled the tight ends.
Coach Travis Trickett, our new offensive coordinator that came in to our program in January. His intensity, he's done an outstanding job with our staff and with our players.
I know everybody on offense would say it's glad to have this guy back, Brad Cecil.
Been around football since the day I was born, you know, being the son of the coach. And college football, first off, starting out as a fan, watching your father come up in the profession and being around all these environments and kind of figure out your path and what you want to do. And found my love for coaching in high school and translated that to college, started coaching in college as well, and found my love for teaching in college. That's where I got into coaching for competitive aspect, and then I learned that I love teaching just as much. The one thing that the sport of football does for any young man is it teaches you teamwork. You cannot be self-reliable. You're going to have to be reliable on or relying on everyone else around you for success. That teaches you how to have essentially servant leadership, maybe one of the biggest qualities that I've got out of this whole thing. And what you realize is when you take the me out of this whole thing and it becomes a we aspect, that's where actually everyone ends up getting what they want. The wins come, all the credentials, all the awards, that's when it starts to become fun. When you start taking yourself out of it, you make it about everybody else, and that's where the magic starts happening in this game of football. So those kind of things are what I love about this sport. And you can be on the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. You can be winning a championship and then humbled the very next season. So it keeps you honest, it keeps you on your toes. And it really makes you understand what's important.
Throws it long, he's got a man, it's Weaver, makes the catch, and he's down to the 30.
When it comes to alignment, that was the #1 attraction that brought me here to the University of South Florida. When I came down and the opportunity came up to possibly join Coach Scott's staff, and I met with Michael Kelly, Coach Scott, and then also the assistants, everything he's put in place is exactly what any coach is looking for in a program with the culture already set, how he treats his coaches and his players, and being a relationship-based coach. One of the highlights of being here is my offensive staff. Our staff has everything, and so I couldn't be happier to be a part of this. And my #1 job every time I wake up in the morning is to make sure is what can I do for them to make sure I make their jobs easier and we can be successful. So for me, it's the values and everything I look forward to being part of a program.
The following segment is brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
The staff over at USF is a key part of success, and the director of football strength and conditioning, AJ Artis, whips the guys into shape for the games.
Hey, let's go to work. With my clock set to clock, straight out to the hot.
My name is AJ Artis, Director of Football, Strength and Conditioning at the University of South Florida.
Hey, here we go. Hey, last week of training, we got 4 days, 2 lift days, 2 run days. Attack it, get a break, go to your training, let's go to work. Let's go. Let's go, spread out.
The guys have bought in. The first year, the first few months or so, you're just teaching them your philosophy. You're teaching them how to lift the way you want them to lift. You're teaching them how to flow through the weight room, how you want them to flow. And once you got your program kind of set, it's a revolving door. It moves, it flows. Guys know the standard, guys know the expectation. And I'm going to push them every single day. I'm going to push each player to maximize their potential because I'll be doing them a disservice if I didn't do that on a daily basis.
Hey, superset, 90-90 stretch in between. We want to take our time. Set 1, 3 reps, go to work.
First set, I'll blow the whistle. Everybody kind of sounds off in the room. Set 1, everybody is locked in on those 5 reps of that set. When that set is over with, they look at their sheet, they get to wait for the next set. Everybody's prepared, blow 2 whistles, set 2, kind of so on and so forth. I do that so guys can lock in on that set and that rep, not worry about the rest of the workout, worry about what you got in front of you and the task that we have at hand.
Go! Go! Go!
Standard is set pretty high, right? If you don't meet the expectation every single day, that's what we do with the grit scores. We have grit scores, we rank each player every day. The standard is set. If you're average, we're gonna tell you you're average. And we have dialogue about why you were average and you think you're working hard. We'll give you direct feedback of kind of how you can work harder and how you can push yourself to be the best you that you can be.
3.
We're stronger together. We're stronger than our opponent across from us. That's the main thing kind of I take away is how can we, right, build each other up as a team, right, through adversity, through challenging situations. The muscle builds up after you break it down, right? How can we break the players down, right, mentally, physically, to build them and callous them up for September, October, November, and into bowl season, December, and conference championship play.
The following segment is brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
The Bulls played a tough game last weekend, but last night they took on the Howard University Bisons.
Right after the break, we'll take a look at highlights from the game. We'll be right back. The USF Bulls and the Howard Bison met for the first time ever, and with over 200 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, the Bulls came out on top with a final score of 42-20. Let's jump right into the highlights.
USF was anxious to get back on the field for the second game of the season. There's an old football axiom that a team makes its most improvements from week 1 to week 2, and it certainly looked that way for these Bulls.
Let's go. Hey, it's time now. Get your mind right. Let's get after these guys tonight. Here we go. Let's go. Hey, do something, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, your South Florida Bulls.
Armed and ready to pick up their first win of the season, Coach Jeff Scott's team was a little banged up on defense, and it took a while for them to gain their footing. They fell behind by a touchdown in the first quarter. Undeterred, the Bulls kept plugging away as the defense started to force Bison mistakes, producing an avalanche of turnovers that led to a stampede on the ground.
Ball came out. Who's got it? USF says they do.
The Bulls took advantage first with Gary Bohannon through the air. Then the emphasis switched to the ground game.
That's Atkins on the reception. Toss out of the backfield. Brian Battie shows you a burst, gets a first down. Down inside the 20. Bohannon pulls it, keeps it, lowers his shoulder, and goes out of bounds at the 3. Mangum gets the corner, and Mangum gets a touchdown and puts South Florida on the board.
And they would never trail again.
This is a defense for South Florida that is without some of its key contributors in this game tonight.
But the next man up mentality proved to be more than just a slogan.
Hawthorne in the Wildcat. That play's blown up. It comes out. Scoop and a turnover.
The defense would force 3 turnovers, and it helped tilt the field as the Bulls started running downhill.
cutting inside, and this is a touchdown for Michael Dukes.
Under the lights at Raymond James Stadium, and South Florida Bulls fans, something to cheer about. First lead of the night.
Provided by Clemson transfer Michael Dukes, one of 30 four-year college transfers on the roster.
Williams pitch out, good penetration up the field that time, blowing that play up.
Throw and a diving interception by the Bulls at the 25-yard line. Jaden Curry.
Curry was making his first career start, filling in for the injured Matthew Hill, and added the interception to the fumble he already recovered. Perhaps most impressive about the dominating USF run game was how many backs were grabbing yardage. Proof that up front the O-line was having a game.
And Dukes will go all the way. Touchdown, USF.
The defense continued to set up a ground game that would pile up over 200 rushing yards.
Battee gets the ball, and Battee breaks into the secondary, comes down the near sideline, and he outruns everybody. Touchdown, USF.
Clock's going to run down, and that is going to take us to the fourth quarter in Tampa.
The quarter changed. The theme did not.
It is a turnover on downs, and the USF defense comes up with a big stop.
Bohannon to throw, airs it out long. Dallison trying to run under it, and he does.
For the first time in 19 years, the Bulls rushed for 6 touchdowns in a game, and their smothering defense did the rest. The first win of the season, setting up the first road trip of the season. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. It should come as no surprise that many football kickers have played soccer at some point in their lives.
In fact, there are several NFL kickers who probably could have been soccer stars, but decided to pursue football instead. This also happens to be the case for USF's kicker, Spencer Shrader.
Career high, 49. Got the distance, yes!
Goodness gracious. Wow.
A new career high for Spencer Shrader.
Wow. My name is Spencer Shrader. I'm a kicker. I'm number 32.
Spencer was just always full of energy, loved sports, loved to be on the move all the time, loved to be with his friends, be with his sister. They both just had such a natural, competitive drive. They loved to compete.
When I was 6, I started playing soccer, and I pretty much just fell in love with it right away. That was my sport. But my parents always encouraged me to be a multi-sport athlete, so along with soccer, I played tennis, and I played basketball, and I played a lot of other sports. I even did gymnastics and some fencing, some kind of random stuff when I was young. But it really helped me to develop a coordination and a well-rounded athleticism.
He was an incredible soccer player. He was an incredible tennis player. I mean, he was pretty good at whatever sport he did, but I did not see football until his senior year. And to be honest, I didn't love that he kicked because I always saw him as a soccer player. I was a soccer player. I wanted him to play soccer. So when he started kicking, it was a huge adjustment.
He's just always had the right attitude. He always just wanted to work hard, and it paid off, and he just built on that. He learned that the harder you work, the more successful you are. And so from a young age, he was winning state championships in soccer, and he just wanted more of it. It just built on itself, and we didn't think it would end up at football, but it did, and so we're enjoying that.
I played football senior year of high school, and it was almost an accident because I didn't really want to play football at the time. I never really had an interest in football. I never watched it too much. But then I thought about it, and I didn't want to be, 40, 50, 60 years old looking back on it and knowing that I didn't take advantage of an experience that was in front of me. So I ended up pursuing that option, and I played senior year of high school, and then after that I kind of put it out of my mind because I'd moved on to soccer. I was playing overseas. And then it re-entered my life when I was done trying out for soccer, and I kind of had the option to pursue that.
Everybody's proud of him for what he's accomplished athletically, but I'm so much more proud of him for the kind of person that he is. I mean, he really is just such a kind person. He would do anything for anybody, and he's the hardest worker I know.
Our family, the 4 of us, are a really tight-knit group, and we've kind of gone through life together, and everything that we do, we don't feel alone, like someone is going through it on their own, because we have all of us to go through it together.
It's just amazing as a parent to watch them achieve their passions at the highest level. There's nothing that brings me more joy than watching my kids on a field, playing the sport and doing what they do best.
Go Bulls! This segment brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery.
Wow, how great is that?
So neat.
His soccer background has come in handy.
Yes, and so he's even set a USF record, making 4 field goals of 40-plus yards in the same game.
Incredible. Now, we've been talking a lot about football, but right after the break, we're switching gears and heading into a different bullpen. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. We've got to give some love to the women's soccer team. Senior goalkeeper Sydney Martinez has led the team to success, and head coach Denise Schulte-Brown describes Martinez as the embodiment of USF women's soccer. Let's take a look.
Yates will step up to take the PK. Here it is, and it's stopped by Sydney Martinez! Diving to her right! Unbelievable save! Flat out dive! Stops it from inside the post! That was magnificent!
Who is Sydney Martinez? Well, that is an easy question because she is what embodies USF women's soccer. She is a leader, she's a competitor, she's an athlete. She just leaves it all out on the field.
Well, Sydney Martinez is it's a highly competitive, and since I've been coaching her, that even in practices and even in games that we're supposed to be the best team, she's, trying to keep a clean sheet. So I would say she's extremely competitive.
The expectations I have on that field is that I'm giving my 110% no matter what. If I'm having a bad game, I know the girls are going to be more focused on being on defense and worrying about me and making sure that I'm doing my thing instead of focusing on going and scoring. So I have to make sure that I'm on it 100%. As long as I know I'm on it 100%, I can communicate with those girls and help push them harder to do their jobs correctly.
Martinez is an excellent leader. She is really good at embracing her teammates, picking them up, making them feel included. She can be stern when we need her to be stern. She can help people, keep people in line. But she's it's important to her that we're on track, that things are on time, things are done right, and that really helps a program. I mean, when you have somebody like that, an extension of you in the locker from you into the locker room, it helps a lot. And Sydney is that person for us. Really proud of her.
I've learned so much about myself. I've realized how much I can adapt to any situation. I mean, I came in starting my freshman year, didn't expect that as a freshman to be starting over the current goalkeeper that was here. So that was just an incredible thing. I learned adversity through that and being able to push myself harder and trying to stick up to the standards that coach had and that I had for myself.
Having someone that is secure in the net helps us to get those goals, right? So she's been around the most successful years, and I think she's been a rock back there in the net and she's been responsible in helping the team to succeed and be able to go to nationals every year and win conference championships and win regular seasons and everything. So when she goes play pro and we talk in a few years about Sydney Martinez, we're going to be talking about those big moments that she showed up, moments of pressure, and that she kept us in the game so we could be successful.
The experience I have had these past 5 years has just been an incredible thing. I mean, when that final whistle blows, when the season is done, I want them to remember me as a girl who went out there and played her heart out every single game, who did everything, sacrificed her body, everything for that win, for that game, for that moment. Winning 4 championships is an incredible thing. It shows that I'm doing my job correctly, and it shows that our girls, we know our tactics, we know what works for us as a team, we execute them very well, and we win championships with it. We have 4 so far, so.
I mean, hopefully the many trophies that she's left behind, and the rings, and the wins, that'll be from the public eye, but inside what she really leaves is her sweetness. She's a sweet, kind human being. Everybody knows that she cares about them. She's always there for them. So I feel like she's going to be this person that her teammates and coaches will remember as the person that laid her body out for you every day, but would never hesitate to pick you up or do anything for you. So again, she embodies USF women's soccer. We could not be more proud of the person and player that she is. And yeah, I'm very, very blessed to have her.
Great stuff. Now going back to football, you can catch the next Bulls football game on Saturday, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. against the Florida Gators.
Then, of course, join us Sunday at 9 p.m. right here for insider access and exclusive footage. For Kaylee and myself, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.